When I went crazy, no one loved me but my father, to be honest with you. Even if we're walking blind, there was no man left behind, to be honest with you. When I went crazy, no one loved me but my mama, to be honest with you. But seeing demons, chasing ghosts, sleeping seldom, to be honest with you. When I went crazy, no one loved me but my father, to be honest with you.
Let's get back on it.
With you. Even if we're walking blind, there was no man left behind, to be honest with you.
Let's get back on it. Let's go. What's going on out there, everybody?
I tried to tell my story.
Hey, that's another day, another opportunity to be able to come and help somebody. I'm your own, the real Clevonne, where we come to help repair, unlearn, and fix broken areas in our lives so that we can become better, because there's so many of us that need the information. And the challenge is that people will talk at you, but they won't give you the information to help you. So this is what we need, is we need the information. Today, I definitely got to bring up stuff that goes on within our community that's not addressed in our community. And I got a huge problem with that, because stop apologizing to people for your progress and your success. Stop apologizing. I'm going to tell you this right now. There are people that do not measure up to where you are and where you're going. And you trying to reach back and grab those people is damaging to you. It's not damaging to them. So yes, we started off here together. And as I wanted to heal, I went here. And because I wanted to address stuff within my life, I went here. And because I wanted to make more money, I went here. And I wanted to get out the hood, I went here. And then I come back to tell you that we can heal, we can get money, we can address things and become better. And you like, well, hold on, give me a minute. Stop waiting on people, because those people in your life are called liabilities. And liabilities will pull you back and draw you back, and you will never progress. You will never get to where you need to be at, because liabilities do not move. Liabilities are not investments. They are debt. They do not help you become better. You got to remember, I don't care. You may meet somebody or you may know somebody and you think that they're successful, or because they had something before you got to where you are and they bragged about it. I got a house, I got a new car, I got this, I got that. Then when you finally get it, then they'll say, oh, how did you get it? Or have you ever dealt with people where you're actually talking to them about purchasing a house and people will give you all the wrong information? When you're talking to somebody about becoming better, how do I get a new car? How do I get a house? And they'll say, ooh, child, them loans are so high. Their interest is so high. They gave me such a hard time. They made it so hard for me to get a house. They made it so hard for me to get it. But you got it. But you got it. So you got it, and you're not going to tell me how to get it. That is one of the issues within the community, where people want to hide information and then tell us all we got to get up by our bootstraps. Not the other race of people. It's our own people telling us some bullshit like that. It's our own people telling us the crap of you got to figure it out. Then when you figure it out, then they want to come back to you and say, how did you figure it out? That is some straight bull crap. And that is the thing what I'm saying. Those people are liabilities. Those type of people are not assets. Assets will give you the information. When you look at where you grew up at, you may have grew up in the hood, and you grew up in the hood, and when you go back over there, people are still walking the streets. People are still over there doing the same thing. That's a mentality. That's a mentality. And you don't want your children to grow up with that mentality. Oh, I want my kids to never forget where they come from. That's some bull crap. That is straight bull crap. You want your children to become better. But what happens is many people don't know how to shift or adapt, so they adjust to where they are. Well, I'm going to stay here because I don't want my kids to feel out of place. Now you make your children subject to anger issues, because if they can't go to another better situation, a better community, and they're not challenged to become better, when they are challenged in another community or when they are challenged to become better, they become angry.
and they become angry because they didn't have the information and they didn't have the tools. It is our job as parents to give our children the tools to become better. It is not our job to spoil our children, because what society has for us is you spend so much time fighting one another that you spoil your children. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get them that so that they daddy don't do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this because the mama ain't did that. Now we are spoiling our children because you're in a fight, in an effort to get your children's attention. And now when they have your grandchildren, you're going to raise the grandchildren because you didn't give your children the tools that they need to become better. It is your job to give your children the tools that they need to become better. It is not our job to sit here and spoil our children. And what I mean by that is, do your children clean up? Well, I had to clean up all the time. Are your children learning how to cook? Well, I don't know how to cook. Are your children reading books? Well, I let them play on their games. You are damaging your children. And when you spend so much time fighting against the spouse and fighting against them, what they didn't do, how they didn't love you, what they didn't have, you are damaging yourself and your children now. So now everybody is damaged and the children are right here caught up in the web. So when you're talking about statistical numbers, when children have anger issues, when they have depression, when they are falling short, it's because it's our fault. It's our fault that we are not reading to our children. It is our fault that we're not giving them the tools. I'm guilty of that my damn self. I'm guilty of it my damn self. I'm spending so much time trying to spoil my kids that I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm ironing. Hey, you know what you need to do? Teach your children how to iron their clothes. Teach your children how to iron their clothes, because now there's a trend to walk out the house and be wrinkled. What kind of bull crap is that? Now there's a trend for young girls to wear a thong up inside of the grocery store. What kind of bull crap is that? Now there's a trend for kids not to comb their damn hair. What kind of crap is that? It's a style now? It's a style for your children not to groom themselves? This is being caught up in the web. This is our job to make sure we give them the tools that they need so that they can survive. Because the vast majority of children are going to fall short. The vast majority of children are going to end up in maybe a prison, a psych ward. They're going to end up in a situation that's damaging to them because we are so damaged that we can't address the stuff that's needed to help them. That's our fault. That is our fault. And we got to fix that crap. We got to fix it because it's hurting us. We are hurting ourselves and our children. Now, let me go into this thing also. When you recognize, because I was out and about and I was thinking and I was buying some food, and I realized that men are the greatest consumers of eating out. Men are the greatest consumers of eating out. When you see a food truck at the job site, when men are going on lunch break, going to buy something to eat, when men are taking a woman out on a date to get something to eat, let me tell you something, women, the way you combat that, all that money that man spends can go back into your household, because all you got to do is go make some groceries and make him a taco. Very easy. How much does some ground beef, ground turkey cost? Not that much. How much do taco shells cost? $2. How much does flour tortillas cost? $2, $3. You can just literally take $15, which will stretch out for the rest of the week. And this man is going to spend $15 on lunch break. And if you do the math on how much money is spent on eating out, you realize how many bills you can pay if you go ahead and make him something to eat. You realize that so many women catch a man's attention because he's getting something simple like that, such as a meal. Ooh, somebody appreciates me. I just told you the man is eating out. So if he got a woman that's cooking for him, if he got a woman that's nurturing and catering to him, he's going to make his business to bring that home to you. What bills need to be paid? What do we need to do? That's how you grab that man, ladies. For all the fellas out there, what's one thing you need to learn? You need to learn how to pay attention to her cycle. You need to pay attention to her moods. You need to pay attention to what's going on with her, within her.
Because many of us men have not been taught how to love a woman. We've been taught how to go screw a woman, but we ain't been taught how to love a woman. And when we're talking about men, how to love a woman, let me tell you something. You do the simple things first. The simple things is you rub her back. Listen to fellas, rub her back. Don't tap her back to try to put the head in. Rub her back. Fellas, you need to learn some of the simple things. When you want this woman's attention, I'll come rub your back. You do and then hurry up and try to pull her pants down so you can get the head in. No. Just finish her back out, bruh. You got to learn, men, you got to learn self-control. This is something I had to learn myself. You got to learn self-control. Go handle yourself before you get over there. Go handle yourself when you leave there. Do self-control. Because if you you're so eager to hurry up and win the prize, because that's what we were taught, that you don't know how to control yourself enough to see the red flags. And women, you don't want to give yourself so soon and then make a man stretch out too long where you lose his attention because you want him to take you out, do this, do that. He's paying attention to you as well. These are things that are needed. These are things that are needed to help us become better. We have to unlearn the bad teachings we were taught. There are so many bad teachings that many of us have been taught that many of us will never address them. Many of us will never address the things that we will be taught to unlearn. When you look at in the community, go back into the community, when you see the addicts walking the streets, and we're not supposed to tell on them. Excuse me. We're not supposed to tell on the people that's stealing from us, the people that's robbing us. So if we tell, we kill one another. Look at the logic in that. If you go tell on a person that has violated your children, a person who has violated you, a person who has stolen from you, our community will kill you? Really? That's real true honor. You watch me struggle and you don't help me. But when I go say something about an injustice in my community, you're going to kill me? Think about the logic in that. Think about that. That's why so many people are fighting to get out of it, because it is a system. It is a cycle. It is a mentality, and you have to break that mentality. Somebody got to stand up and speak up. But remember this, when you leave, you can't always go back. Stop trying to break your neck to go back, because everybody won't get it. You may have family members, you may have parents, you may have other relatives that may have left before you, but they still got the same mentality. You may have individuals that are still there, but they still got the same mentality. Your goal is to break that mentality. In order for you to break the mentality, you got to break the cycle. There is a cycle that is killing us. There is a cycle that is killing us, and many of us are stuck in that cycle. So many of us are stuck in that cycle, and you got to break that cycle to change the trajectory of where you are, where you're going, and where you shall be. One thing that I've watched so often, and I got to bring this to our women. Women. I got to bring this to our women. Women, do not bash your man in front of your friends to make yourself look good. Do not put him down in front of your family so that you can be justified in your wrong. Do not do that, because I'm going to tell you right now, there are so many people watching your relationship and they want to see it fail. Because there's people on the outside that see the potential of the relationship. This man paying bills. This man taking care of the kids. This man trying to provide structure. Ooh, if he do that, she gonna become better. And if he get a grip on that, then they're gonna be protected. Ooh, girl, you is right. So they're gonna tell you everything wrong to watch your relationship fail. And many people, I'm gonna tell you this because I watched it over time. Many people, I'm gonna say women and men, there are women who will go get a man who has an addiction so that she can be in control. And it covers up her flaws. There are women that will go get a man with an addiction and keep him close because it covers up her flaws. and nobody will ever call her out, and nobody will ever say nothing about her wrong because they're so focused on his flaws. Oh, he an alcoholic. Oh, he on drugs. He this, he that. Do she clean? Do she cook? Is she a good mother? Is she a good manager of money? Is she a good nurturer? No, she not. So everybody's focused on his flaws. And then here's the thing when it comes to men. So many men will go get a broken woman because a put together woman is intimidating for you. And it's intimidating because you've never had it, you've never seen it, so you push it away. We push away the good because we're intimidated and we feel we don't deserve it. Women do that too. There are a lot of women that do that too. Oh, he too good, he too nice. He too nice. I'm too nice. I'm too nice because I'm a gentleman. I'm too nice because I'm considerate and I care. No, that's your fear. That is your fear. Your fear will force you to miss opportunities in life because we are so gun-ho on fixing people. And that's where I'm going with that when I'm talking about the community, because so many people want to fix people so bad. You go back into the community and you go get people that are down here while you've risen up here. And you go back and get the people that ain't got their shit together. You go back and get the people that don't know themselves, have not healed, and now you are above them and you can talk about them. Oh, they ain't got it together. They ain't did this. They ain't did that. That's your fault. That's your fault because you went back and got them. That's your fault because you wanted to go and get a project. Stop getting projects. Get compatibility. Compatibility is this. It's unconscious. When you're at the store and you're short, they say here. When somebody says, oh, I see that you needed this, I got it for you. When somebody comes and make your house a home, that's compatibility. You need that. It's so many lessons missed within our lives. I've watched so many young women become violated and their family will cover it up. I've watched the situation where the victim has been blamed. I've watched the situation of people trying to hush the person who's being violated, and that is an issue within the community. It ain't just the African-American community. There's Hispanic communities that go through that. There's Caucasian communities that go through that. Have you ever heard the story of a young man whose father essayed him for so long? And the grandma, the father's mama and daddy knew about it. And that's what happened with a lot of parents. You cover up your kids' flaws because you don't want to call them out. Call out your kids' flaws. Call out your kids' flaws when they are wrong. Do not justify them in their wrong. But here's another parenting 101 for so many people. Parents, stop getting angry with your children. You get angry with your kids, the way they chew, the way they walk. They're clumsy. They're there. You know what? To be honest with you, get mad at yourself. Because if you really take a step back and you look at you, you'll realize it's you that you're angry with. You'll realize that you see yourself within that child, and that child is just mimicking what they grew up to see. If you listen to yourself chew, you'll realize you're smacking. If you listen to yourself, you'll realize they're you. So you really are angry at yourself. Stop being angry with these children. Stop beating these kids out of your anger and your frustration. You are so angry and frustrated that you take it out on that baby, and there are children 8 years old, 7 years old, and we're holding them to a higher standard of they should have known. They don't know. A 12-year-old girl who's given her body up does not know. A 10-year-old boy who has a heart on and walking around here trying to poke everything, he don't know. They need guidance. There's a 16-year-old girl who's out here who says she's grown. She ain't grown. She's just smelling herself. And she's smelling herself because she don't have the structure. She don't have the balance. Go back to the fact that many of us are fighting one another. People are fighting one another. And I hate this, that people want to be cool when they get in a relationship. You want to be cool because you got in a relationship now? You want to be cool and make it like everything is great because you have a happy relationship, but you didn't put this man through hell all these years and you finally found a relationship. Then when that relationship go bad, you go put him back on the burner and put him on child support and make his life a living hell. Why don't you start telling the truth? Because there's a fine area where people don't want to address the truth. Start telling the truth. Start telling the truth about where you messed up at and what you did wrong. That's how you start healing. That's how you start being honest. No, you tell, you know what? I was vindictive. I was a manipulator. I kept you away from your parent. I did this. Be honest with the child. That's how you know when you heal. But most of them say, well, have they not done this? No. Healing begins when you address what you did wrong. Healing begins when you address your flaws. Healing begins when you can be honest with yourself without talking about the other person, without talking about what they've done. Have they not? No. Healing begins with you. You were in that relationship. What went wrong in a relationship? If you can get to the point where you say, you know what? It was me. It was my flaw. It was my fault. It was my problem. I did this to them. Or I got in this relationship because I was insecure. I got in this relationship because I wanted a project to build upon. I wanted somebody I can control. I got in this situation because I wanted a family that I never seen, and I jumped into it and tried to make their family better than my family, but my family was better than their family, and that was an issue and a flaw of mine. Listen to how I'm saying it's me. It's all me, not what they did wrong. Because everybody that we all get with has flaws. Everybody has flaws. So stop calling out the other person's flaws and start talking about your own flaws. That's how you start healing. I wish somebody would have told me that, past tense. I wish somebody would have gave me the guidance and the tools to say, this is what a young man does. The man that claims that he raised me, the man that claims that he was the guidance, was a disaster. He was a disaster in so many ways because he want me to go out and bash everybody. He want to go out and put everybody down. And I picked up on a lot of those habits, talking about people constantly. And he's better and he's this. And truth is, he ain't none of that. He's not that. You have a business, come talk to me. Why am I talking to him when he's never had a business, when he's never opened a business? Why are you talking to people who have never done what you are doing? Why are you talking to people about your business that you open and they've never opened a business? They've only worked for the county all these years. Why are you talking to somebody about $1 million project when they barely can balance out their checkbook at their house? Why are you talking to somebody because you respect them? No. They realize you've graduated to a level above them, but they're going to use the respect that you have for them against you. You got to buckle down yourself and start humbling yourself. When I say humble, I'm saying you got to retract from those people. You know what? I'll get with you later. That's being humble. You ain't got to say F you or none of that. You just say, you know what? I'll get with you later. Because everybody don't need to know your business. There are people out there who are counting your money before you make it. There are people out there that say, well, she got it, he got it. They should be able to help me. You don't owe a person a damn thing. You don't owe nobody nothing. You know who you owe? You owe your family, and you definitely owe the person who had your back, the person who helped carry you, the person who helped leverage you to get to another level. That's who you owe. That is the person who you owe. You cannot forget about the true help, because when you fall off, when you really fall off and you lose, you will find the real true people, how people stop answering their phones. You will find out how people are not available. They don't even want to go to lunch with you. When they find out, oh, you're struggling, they don't even want to talk to you no more. There are people who will come in your house and steal from you at your lowest moment. There are people who will keep on taking when there's nothing to take. This is where you have to learn how to retract back and keep you to you. But that's why you need a relationship. This is why you need a relationship. Your most successful people have relationships. Your most successful people have relationships. Warren Buffett, relationship. Denzel Washington, relationship. Samuel L. Jackson, relationship. The president of the U.S., relationship. The owner of Google, relationship. They have marriages. Why is that? Because it's got to be a sustainable balance in the life, in the home front. People that are saying, I'm independent, I'm by myself, I don't need nobody. You don't need nobody, but your parents watch your kids. You got help. You got support. Oh, I ain't got it like that. You don't? But your sister watches your kids. Your kid's father is always there to watch your kids and make sure that things are taken care of when you fall short. That's called support. It's hard to do this independently. And when I'm talking about a business owner, true business owners know what I'm talking about. There is a level where you don't really rest. There's a level where you ain't making no money, where you got to stay a lot longer and a lot more hours to get the thing going and running. Then when it's finally going, then you can relax. But people will start making plans with your money before you even get it. Therefore, that's how you go broke in advance. These are things that got to change within yourself. You cannot spend so much time blaming everybody else without addressing yourself.
How did I get trapped in that church? Why was I there? Why was I there so long? What was wrong with me? I know it was a family church. I know it was a community church. I know that my family grew up in it and everybody I know stayed there. But then when you wised up, you got to start addressing some stuff within yourself. I was seeking family. I was seeking guidance. I was hoping that these people would fill voids that I didn't feel, help asking people to address things within you that they didn't know how to address within themselves, because we give people so much respect and we give people way more access to us than they should have. These are things that need to be fixed. And just because somebody birthed you don't mean that they got your back. Just because somebody birthed you don't mean that they have your best interest. Just because somebody is in your bloodline don't mean that they want you to always be successful. Just because you grew up with somebody and you've known them all your life don't mean that they're going to be with you on the next wave. There are people in your circle that will set you up because they want you to fail and they want you to fall right back down here in the community. They want you to be right back here eye level. And when you eye level and you fall a little lower than them, they ain't like, oh, that's what you get. You deserve that. There are people that will set your children up the first chance they get. This is why you got to break from this circle, this cycle, this mindset, this thing that is holding you back. It is up to you to let it go. If you got friends that are not progressive and that are not accountable, what I mean by accountable is I'm talking about real true friends that come and tell you, you a foul person. They're a true friend that come and tell you, you got a perfect relationship and you effing it up. And that's your fault. A true friend that will sit there and watch and not let you become victim. A true friend that will come and say, dude, you just fell short. Here you go. How short are you? Here go the rent money. I got you. That's what real friends are. Not somebody that will watch you fail and say, if I had it, I would give it. If we are friends, if we are real brothers, when I'm down, you down. And I'm down with you and I got your back. But don't forget to have my back when I get down too. That's what real friends do. Real friends have each other. But some people are your friend while you are eye level with them. Some people are your friend as long as we in the same community. Then when you elevate past them, you still got their back. And now they looking at you sideways like you owe them. I want you to come up with me as well. But most people won't come up because their jealousy won't let them move. That's not your fault. You don't owe nobody nothing. When they don't want to grow, it's not your fault. Stop blaming yourself because your parents don't want to get better. Stop blaming yourself because people are still trapped in the same community that you want to get out of. Stop blaming yourself. It's not your fault. That's the thing what I'm recognizing for myself. And it took me 41 years to learn this, to teach myself this. If I had the right guidance, this man that claims that my uncle, who claims that he was the male role model in my life, if you were such a role model, why didn't you teach me the stuff that my mama taught me? Why did you teach me? My mama told me, say, go out, become a plumber, because I realized college ain't the best for you right now. Go become a plumber, open your own business, and you can keep going. My uncle comes around and say, no, he gonna be a school teacher. I love kids. I love playing with a big kid. But he's a male in my life, and so I'm listening to him. That's all. That's the only job he's ever done and worked at AM PM. But he, being a school teacher, as a school teacher, we only started out at $28,000 a year. As a plumber, I would have made that per month. As a business owner, I made that per week. And when I did that, he said, how you do it? And then he kept on saying, well, you need to go ahead and stay with teaching because that may fail. And when that business fail, you're going to need that teaching. Not one of my educational degrees have been beneficial in my journey to where I'm going, but every trade that I learned has made me successful. Shouts out to my mom. I became a truck driver. I learned plumbing. I learned all different trades because of my mom. Me and my mom walked the stage. We got our bachelor's on the same day, the same minute, the same hour. She walked in front of me while she got her bachelor's. I walked behind her, and we took a picture with the same dean right in front of each other. That's monumental that I'll never in my life get back. I don't know nobody in this world who can ever say that them and their mother got their degree on the same exact day, the same exact moment, on the same stage at the same college. But all I'm saying is, had I listened to my mother's guidance, who was trying to protect me, but people will help turn you against your help. People will help turn you against your help so that you don't have help, so that you fail. And if you fail, that gives them dialogue and something to talk about. This is why you need a spouse. You need help. You need somebody in the house to balance it out. And the reason why it becomes so foreign to many of us is because you've never seen it growing up. There are a young man who maybe had his father got a woman and she didn't like his kids. There's a young lady whose mother may have got a man and he like touching on the kids, and neither one of them were defended. There are many kids who have grown up abused and the parents didn't defend them when they should have. Didn't speak up. They justified the abuser and beat the child who was abused. That's some bull crap right there. And now you grow up, and it could be that you're hesitant because of what you've seen in that household. But I'm telling you right now, you need a relationship. You need somebody that's ready to jump in there with you, that understands we have roles. Women, remember this. Women and men are designed totally different. Women and men are designed totally different. There's a different type of finesse with you women that a man doesn't have. And I want you to understand, women, you really do control the trajectory in the household. Women, you control it. Yes, the man is the leader, but when he come home, he needs you to vent to. He needs you to pour out to. He needs you to be available to bend over, if you get what I'm saying. He needs you. The kids need you. And you are built to be able to handle that. The man is built to carry a different type of weight. This is why we support and complement one another, but you got to know how to complement one another in order to be successful. We can't say, oh, I went to work for 8 hours and you didn't do enough and you didn't do, no. We got roles. Women, your role is inside. My role is outside. This is why men work in the mines. This is why men work on the railroads. This is why men work 30,000 feet in the sky, building a skyscraper with his life on the line. He's built for that. Women, you manage the inside of the home. And if you can let that man know, you know, I had a problem with Edward. He called me a B earlier. The man gonna go handle it totally different than you. But this is where the structure is needed, because you see some of these young boys with so many anger issues is because he don't have that structure. He don't have that balance, and he's been overly nurtured. And now you're depending on the teacher to fill the gap who don't understand him. You're depending on somebody else in the community. Why not have his daddy there consistently? Why not have a positive male figure? Not a man who's sitting down that you take care of. That's the difference where we get twisted at. We're talking about a man who comes in to make sure you're well. When men are catering to you, I don't know why women shut down to that. You shut down to a man who wants to love on you. That is not healthy. And that is where you got to change that as well, ladies. You definitely got to change that. For the men, you need a woman. You need somebody there to be present. Being a single father is not sexy. You can make the money and all that, but you need that nurturing element for your children. Your children don't need to be in the presence of pure aggression. This is where the balance comes in at. Men are more aggressive. Women are not as much aggressive. And when you both are together and tied together, you balance each other out where she's not as emotional and he's not as aggressive. But we balance each other out that when he becomes aggressive, she's emotionally supportive. And when she's emotional about things, his balances her out to love her. Men are nurturing as well. But you got to be able, women, you got to be willing to go home. Women, you got to be willing to go home and tell your man what you need. Stop trying to make him figure it out. Go home and tell him, baby, can you hold me? Baby, can you rub my feet when I get there? Can you make me something to eat? Just tell him. Men are that simple. But so many women want a man to figure it out, and you want him to know when you was hungry last. Just tell him. Because we are problem solvers by nature. Just tell me the issue, but don't try to be victim. Don't become the victim. You got to acknowledge that if you are having an emotional moment, say I'm having an emotional moment, I need to vent, and he'll catch that. But he's so prone to fix issues. That's all he knows to do. This is where you got to have an understanding and a balance. For the men, when a man comes home to tell you what's going on with him, don't look down on him. Just be receptive. Don't be sitting there playing on your video game, playing on your phone. Don't go tell your friends what's going on with your man. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because I'm going to tell you firsthand, those women are cool with you. And those women are watching your flaws and your shortcomings. And they like, oh, it's hard to find real friends in relationship. That's why when you're in a relationship, you need to be amongst friends who have relationships, healthy relationships. And healthy relationships will breed healthier relationships. But you cannot have a healthy relationship amongst people who ain't got no relationship. You cannot have a successful in exercise with people who are gluttonizers, who do it only at the beginning of the year. That's when the gyms make all their money. The tax season makes all their money in the beginning of the year. So many businesses make their money in the beginning of the year because you have a New Year resolution. Let me tell you when your New Year begins. Your New Year begins before your birthday. Before your birthday. If you ever pay attention, whatever you're doing before your birthday is most likely what you're doing after your birthday. That's your New Year. And that's what you got to cater to. So if your birthday is August 8th and you getting ready to, no, whatever you're doing before, if you realize the person you was with before your birthday is somewhat the same person you're with. If you was fighting with somebody before your birthday, you fighting with somebody after your birthday. If you cut ties with things and you was working to cut ties, and that's where you at. You cut ties or you working to cut ties. That's how it goes. These are things that have to be addressed within yourself so that you can become better. Unlearn the negativity. Unlearn it. For all of you who are big on your religion, I'll say this right now. Try not to push your religion on somebody else. Just be receptive. Just because a person doesn't believe in the religion, just because a person is not available, does not mean that they're not a good person. There are people who are so gung-ho on the religion that you miss the relationship. That's something that's got to be fixed. For everybody that's out there right now, I want to tell you all that we are going to become better. We are definitely going to become better. If you look at the things that you can fix them. Fix them. Address them. Work on them. This is where you are and where you need to be at. You don't need to be stuck or trapped no more. Because that's old. That's old and played out. So till we all meet again, I truly appreciate y'all. And everybody who's out there, I'm going to make sure that I tag my email. Make sure we post the email. So anybody who has any questions or anything that they want to post or questions that they want to ask, we're going to definitely put it up there. And then we're going to start working on people who would like to call in. I truly appreciate y'all. So everybody who's out there, hey, keep moving, keep pushing forward. We thank y'all. Much love to you. Peace.
When I went crazy, no one loved me but my father, to be honest with you. Even if we're walking blind, there was no man left behind, to be honest with you.